In this video, I'm going to talk about, can you make good money trading part-time? Stay tuned. Hey traders, a very warm welcome to you. Okay, this question, can you make good money trading part-time? I hear this question a lot. People come and say, oh, are you a full-time trader? Are you a full-time trader? And the question they're really asking isn't, do you sit in front of the screen all day long trading? It's really, are you making enough money from your trading to keep you going? That's really the question they're asking, because this is a bit of a funny question. I need to put a question mark on there, really, don't I? This is a bit of a funny question because depending on your style and the strategy, if you trade 10 times a day, maybe that's considered full-time because you've got to be there in front of the screen. But if you're then trading, say, once a day and your orders are put in the morning with 10 times the size, you could get the same results, if not better results. So it's a kind of a funny thing, but I understand what the question really is. It's a case of, hey, can you make decent amount of money whilst trading, whilst allocating a small amount of time to the market? So I do get the question, but it's funny when people ask that kind of question and you think, well, what you're really asking is, are you making enough money to live on? But anyway, the point is, can you do it? So part-time, the obvious answer to me is yes. I mean, if you disagree, put in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I've got a bit of a caveat to that. There is a learning curve, okay? You do have to go through a learning curve where the longer you have in front of the screen or in market exposure or whatever strategy you're doing, the quicker you're going to get to where you need to be. So, while full-time is great for that, it's not going to be great. If you're swing trading, you don't need to be sitting there full time. Obviously, if you're day trading, then you want as much market exposure as possible. You want to be sitting there. You want to see the market when it's choppy, when it's trending, when it's quiet, when it's volatile, all different market shifts and dynamics and news flow. And you want to learn from just the experience, because then later on, your subconscious will draw on that experience and will help you with your trading. However, let's assume that, okay, let's just run off piste a little bit here and talk about kind of two things. So we've got day trading and swing trading. So let's answer both those questions, well, from my opinion. Anyway, let's give my opinion on both of those things. So can you make a part-time living, can you make a living day trading part-time? The answer to that is, it's a harder thing to do. I feel if you're day trading, i.e. you're trading in a day, you're trading over a short period of time, multiple times, you probably want to be full-time at it, because, let me get my other pen here, because exactly what I've just said, the market conditions change. I think it's very hard to kind of not be trading several days and just step into the market and expect to make a big yield out of it, unless you've got the experience and know exactly what you're looking for and kind of go in and just trade your type of environment, which is a very feasible thing to do. But if you're kind of learning along the process, I think it's very challenging to make a living part-time day trading, because obviously what you're going to means to you is, okay, I've got a set amount of time here, got a set amount of time there. That's okay, but you want as much exposure as you can to that. Now, my advice would be, listen, if you want to day trade, but you want to you can only day trade part-time, my advice would be to try to have exposure to the most volatile and most fruitful periods. So maybe the open of the indices, maybe the close of the indices, something like that, where there's a consistent flow of news. Or so if you can do every day at the open, for example, perfect, or 4 out of 5 days at the open, perfect. If you're talking you can only grab an hour here and then, you don't know when it may be, you're going to struggle to get the consistency you need to develop a business out of that, in my opinion. Not to say it can't be done, but I feel that you need that some sort of consistency, some sort of consistent exposure when you're day trading, even if it is a short amount of time, every day at the same time, not necessarily the whole day, but just that consistent brain food, if you like, so that you can learn and learn and learn and learn. However, life becomes easier for those of you who want to swing trade and swing trade part-time, because by the very definition of swing trading, you are trading part-time. In other words, you're kind of scanning for your setups and strategies. You're spending a lot of time researching and developing, and then you're filtering, and then when something comes up that you want to trade, you're taking the trade, and then you're holding that for many days, many weeks, many months, whatever it may be. You're making little adjustments to your portfolio, you're making little tweaks. You don't need to really be sitting there in front of the screen all day long. You may choose to do so because you may be someone who takes advantage of opportunities that come in the day. So you might be someone who says, listen, well, if we get a real good move on this, I want to get involved with it, but I'm going to hold it for several days. Then you've got that kind of hybrid approach that I call a day trading entry with a swing trader's exit. So, you've got to be a little bit careful with that. But then of course you can put stuff like alerts and say, hey, listen, if this stuff moves to these kind of levels in this period of time, I want to be at the screen. I don't think you need to be there full time as such. So I guess the answer to the question is, yes, you can. You've just got to be very structured about the way you do it. You've got to be brutally honest with the time you've got available, brutally honest about your strengths as well, and then say, you know what, it may be part-time as such, in terms of I'm not sitting at the screen every single day. However, this is when I'm working. These are my allocated hours to it. This is why I've allocated these hours to it. And I'm just going to focus and focus and focus on that and not worry about the stuff that I will inevitably miss from the other hours, but just strict my focus and then just stick to it and roll with it. It might take you a little bit longer. It might even do you a favor because that downtime may work in your favor ultimately, rather than people who are sitting there all day long immersing themselves. So, it could work in your favor depending on your type of character. So anyway, guys, that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think about whether you could make good money trading part-time. Obviously the answer is yes. I guess the actual thing I should have put on here is kind of consistently. Anyone can kind of come along and stick a massive sum of money on a trade and make good money, of course. I'm talking about a consistent level where, you're making more money than not over a longer period of time. But you knew that, didn't you, right? Anyway, give a thumbs up if you liked it, guys. Comments below as always. If you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, please consider doing so somewhere. I don't know where it is on YouTube these days, probably here, I guess. And notification bell as well if you fancy that kind of thing. All right, good trading, guys. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.